Press the bell icon on our YouTube app and never miss another video from SpotboyE.
This is easily one of the most awaited films of the year, and they both star in it. Meet the two oceans of talent, Alia Bhatt and Vicky Kaushal.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being on SpotboyE.
Thank you for having us.
Let's start with you, Alia. Tell me, when did you get this role? Where were you exactly at that time? What happened?
I met Meghna about a year and a half before we started shoot for Raazi. We started shoot last year around June, July. So a year and a half before that, sometime around February 2016. Wow, quite precise with my date. And it was a very casual meeting. She sent me a message saying, I have something I want to meet you for, etc. And I met with her. That time, Dharma Productions was not on board. It was just Meghna and it was just a story concept. And when she came to me, she told me that it's a true story. She told me that it's, this happened in 1971, etc. She told me the one-line story, basic. And I was just in shock. I couldn't believe that this actually happened in reality. So that time there was not even any script, and I don't usually do this, but I said to her, please, whenever you make this film, I'm in principle on, because I don't think it can go wrong, the script cannot go wrong. And that's exactly what happened. A year and a half later, it came home, that is to Dharma Productions, and Jungli was also already on board. And then it was just like the perfect timing and perfect combination. And then, yeah, we just went with it.
She told you that Sehmat wants you to play the role, and
no, this is...
how did you feel about it when you first came to know?
I met with Harinder ji after I was officially on the film, and we had a very nice meeting where he gave me the book also of the film, as in of the Calling Sehmat book. And in that meeting we had a lot of discussions about Sehmat, in reality. But the thing of her wanting me to play the role never came up earlier. I only learnt of it recently. And I was telling these guys also, I find it very surreal, because it's almost that, you've played such a heroic character, and then that person literally turns around and says...
It was you.
Yeah, it just seems very surreal to me. I have to pinch myself and all.
Itna justify kiya hoga aapne definitely.
हाँ, वो पता नहीं.
Vicky, what about you? When did you come on board, and exactly?
Sir, I got a call from Karan saying that Meghna is making this film for us and she finds you suitable for a part in the film. So why don't you come to office and meet her? And I had this meeting with Meghna in Dharma office where she narrated me, gave me the gist of the actual story that had happened and a few scenes from the film. And then I gave a screen test for the film, and I passed that screen test. And she just said that, you're a Iqbal.
You more than pass, that's great.
Okay, so then I was given the script and she told me, let us know what you think. And I read the script, and like Alia said, I was also completely blown away. I was left with this beautiful feeling of gratitude towards these people who, who just live in anonymity and just for the sake of their own countrymen whom they don't know or they're not related to. And I just had this silent thank you in my heart for them, and that was a beautiful feeling to live with. So I felt if I'm getting an opportunity to be a part of this story, it'll be an honor for me, and that's how it happened.
So how have you gone about it? I mean, I read that you've broken that image of the typical Pakistani army officer.
I haven't broken it.
Yeah,
the writers have.
Yeah,
but how the way they've written it, it's beautiful. That's the thing that I found very, the novelty of Iqbal that I found in the script was beautiful, because here's this guy, we have this particular image that comes to our head when we think of a Pakistani army guy in a Bollywood film, and Iqbal really breaks that, because he's this guy who's got an erect spine but a very tender heart. He's a very gentle person, a very understanding person, and that was a beautiful contradiction to play. It's not in the quintessential space of an army guy where you always see him walk and talk in a certain way. You see more of the human behind that uniform. So that was really beautiful to play.
Ali, I want you to elaborate on that, where you said that the toughest part is playing the wife's part in the movie.
Yeah.
How?
Because it's a character within a character. Because she's actually a spy and she's actually there for something else, but she's also a wife and a daughter-in-law to this family. So she has to have this kind of exterior kind of facade, but she has to also be internalizing a lot of information. And at the same time, she can't come across as sly. Like I had to maintain a certain nice, dignity and niceness in the girl, and that was very difficult without trying too hard, because the script also is written very. It's not very hard. I feel in its characterization. All the characters are very, very soft, and you can like kind of work around them. But that was for me the hardest part. Also, the relationship between Sehmat and Iqbal is my favorite, relationship in the film. So it was kind of really sad at times that we used to sit and we used to like laugh, and they used to be like, "Isko kuch nahi pata hai," like "Bichara Iqbal ko kuch nahi pata hai." So it is. I mean, at the end of the day, these are characters, but when you're playing them, you start really feeling their sorrows and their pains.
Would you say this is your toughest role?
I honestly feel like with every film the role
नहीं,
becomes
सारे tough
toughest.
roles आपके पास ही आ रहे हैं.
नहीं, मेरे लिए तो tough ही है. I feel like every film के साथ मैं कहती हूँ कि ये वाला toughest role है, and then I do a new film and then that becomes also tough. It was very very tough. It has been one of my toughest. Yeah.
Preparation.
Preparation भी था on.
Self defense. Could you elaborate?
हाँ,
on
पर
that?
वो
the physical.
The self-defense and all were all small little technicalities. I don't think that they really prepare you to feel like the character. Those are all things that you do so that your physical kind of persona maybe comes across better. The self-defense also is a very small section where we just like learning how to do self-defense, etc. Without weapons, hatiyar ke bina, because she doesn't have any. So it is something that I wanted to do, to work on so that the physicality came across, but at the end of the day, the script and the scenes and the characterization was the only way forward for me.
Working with mom?
It was very special. It was very, very special. And I think she's fabulous in the film. And she's a fabulous actress, so I'm quite excited that this has happened now. People will, wake up to me and my mom doing more mother-daughter films together.
Did you crack up at any stage? कुछ ऐसा मतलब शुरू में थोड़ा?
नहीं यार, हम लोग काफी serious थे, and we were actually doing one serious scenes. 1-2 times it was like I had to pull out and remind myself that she's my mom. Like it was because we had become so like co-actors, just
into
working
the character.
into the character and very like diligent, but at the same time having fun.
We'll just conclude with your most difficult scene. I mean, between the two of you in the movie, the most important scene, or where you feel is the highlight.
And we can only say once the film is out, no?
No, I think it's almost there, and
No, but still, it's a thriller.
But there are important scenes. I mean, the beauty actually for the scenes between Iqbal and Sehmat is that there's a lot of happening in the silences between them.
Yeah.
And that was really beautiful. That was very critical also at the same time.
Very.
So even if we are doing a scene where it's
saying
not
one
like we
thing.
don't have like a page full of dialogues, but there's a lot happening in that, and that becomes even more critical when you're not actually verbalizing it, because the way we look at each other, the way we're breathing, the way we were just being around each other means something. And we have to be really particular about how we're being with each other so that the meaning doesn't come across as something else, So I think each scene was critical in its own way.
hats off to both of you.
Thank
I
you
don't
so
know
much,
how
sir.
you all shut off, especially you, from all those roles that you've done.
She's not got any option. She's already taken up like half a dozen films.
Yeah.
Deep dived into everything.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Alia.
much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Pleasure.
for being on
Thank
SpotboyE.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.